Hey y'all, this is Mr. Pepin, and for our third week of online learning, we are going to be converting between customary units of length. Now, customary units are those we use in the United States to measure how long something is. These include inches, feet, yards, and miles. Let's look at our first conversion, inches to feet. And we're going to do this using a tool we're familiar with, a ruler. A ruler from one side to the other measures 1 foot. But if we look closely, we can see that there are markings on the ruler that indicate how many inches are inside one ruler. Now, if we go from left to right, we can see that one ruler contains 12 inches. And since one ruler is 1 foot, that must mean 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Let's go to another conversion, feet to yards. Now, the gray stick at the bottom of the screen is called a yardstick, and a yardstick is a lot longer than a ruler. In fact, it takes up the same amount of space as 1, 2, 3 rulers. And remember what we said before. One ruler is equal to 1 foot. One yardstick is the equivalent of 3 rulers, which means one yardstick is also equivalent to 3 feet. Last but not least, we have yards to miles. And since there's no such thing as a mile stick, you're just going to have to take my word for this one. 1 mile is equal to 1,760 yards. These are our basic conversions. Inches to feet, feet to yards, and yards to miles. But if you ever need a refresher while you're working your way through the assignment, click on your star chart. And since we are looking at units of length, all you have to do is go to the length section of your star chart. And here you have it. 1 mile, 1 yard, 1 foot. But what if we need to measure an object that is longer than our basic conversions of 1 mile, 1 yard, and 1 foot? In that case, we use what is called a conversion table. We have 1 unit on the left and 1 unit on the right. In this case, feet and inches. And if we start with what we know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. But how can we use this to determine how many inches are in 2 feet? Well, how do we get from 1 to 2? We have to take 1 and we have to multiply it by 2. But if we multiply our feet by 2, then that means we also have to multiply our inches by 2. So, to go from 1 foot to 2 feet, we multiplied by 2. To find this empty space here, we would take 12 and we would also multiply it by 2. I trust y'all can use this fact to fill in this blank here. But Mr. Pepin, what if we're given half a foot and we have to find how many inches are in half a foot? Well, I would recommend that you go back to your ruler diagram. Let me do that now. We remember that 1 ruler is equal to 1 foot. Well, let's take that ruler or foot and cut it in half. I have done so here. You now have 2 halves of a ruler. And now I'm going to let y'all look at this picture here and then tell me what goes in this blank. Last but not least for this assignment, aside from a matching activity and your conversion tables, you are going to have to look at a math story. For a party, Lars ordered a 6-foot sandwich. He cut the sandwich in half. This is what I recommend you do. You have your picture of the sandwich and then you cut it in half. And then he cut those pieces in half again. I recommend you take your pieces, you cut them in half again. Then he cut those pieces in half again, which means he started with a sandwich that was 6 feet in length and he ended up with 8 equal pieces. Use this info to solve the problem. And good